So today we're going to go over making a machine card and then sending that off to the USB to load or CB460s or a machine card to load CB430s. So I have my job here. And it's a big job, but I only have phase 1, which is in here. So I only want them to have view things in here, and this is for an excavator and a dozer. So I don't want them, they don't necessarily need to see all these sewer lines and all the storm lines. It's handy, but when they're just doing general grading, that's a lot of line work that can get confusing over time, and they don't need it. So if they do, I will always make another machine design for them so they have two. But for this case, we're just going to load the one. So we're going to go through, like so here. We have a storm, and we're just going to go through and deselect what we don't want the machines to see. So we're going to go sewer, so it takes the sewer away, storm. And then a little tip, sometimes you have a lot of line work from your model builder and it's not labeled, so if you just click it, right click, properties, right here it tells you what layer that's under. So then you can go, okay, 2D water, so I'm just going to take that one out. So now I have pretty much what I want the machines to see. I don't like our machines to see the curb, because we generally just highlight the flow line, the subgrade, and blow path, so I'm going to get rid of the curb too. I'm just going to select that. That's road C, finish. Here's the issue there. See how I have this whole road, this curve is under the same layer as the flow line. So if I deselect it, it's going to get rid of it all. So what I'm going to do is just select that and then later on take that curve out. So now we kind of have mostly what we want our machine to see by deciphering it out through layers. So then you're going to want to go over to the Field Data tab. If you haven't created a job site yet, you'll need to create one. And this is where you add your site calibration. So you import, you can either drag it in or import it in, your DC file, your .cal file, and your CSV file for your control points. And then so once you get your site calibration in, you're good to go. And then you're going to want to select all your control points, select add and OK. I have the 8 control points already. By selecting them, you have your control points. You're just going to go boop, add. See, it's already added. So we're going to skip that step. It's pretty basic. Now we want to create a design. And now you can have several designs for one project. I always have different designs for my data collectors than I would for my machine, because data collectors are a lot more, you can handle a lot more information. You can deselect and select lines, and the ground guy generally needs more information than, say, the machine guy. But I always, so if you select these, that means this design is going to be imported or exported to my data collector and all the machine cards that are going to go for this job. Now, I'll label it. I'm making this for machines, so I'll go Suncrest machine model. Whatever you guys do for naming works out. Now we have machine model. Let's select OK. Now this is where you want to select your surface, and you'd already had your surface made from your model guy or whatever. I'm going to go Suncrest model revisions. It's the last revisions we had. It's this one. So this surface is the one I want. Everything inside that square, so I'll go surface. Then you scroll down to the one you want, and you select OK. Now you might have subgrade surfaces you add, and finish grade, for the machines, just what surface they're going to be working with. So I have that in. Surface is done. Added 1216. If you're having any stakeout points at this point, now this would be mainly for your collector. And then now it's your design map. This is all the line work that they're going to see on the machine in the collector. Now in design map you can select that line work, you can hide that line work in your collector. If you're under job sites and you did a site map, that's just a map in the background. You can't touch it, it's just there. I never use it. So now we're going to go in and we're going to select what we want to see on here. So I'll select all the lot pads. If you hold down the control button and you just go through and select what you want to see. Looks like I had a copy. Everything within that phase of that area you're working. Now this can be a little tedious. There's a couple ways to do this. So now I'm just holding down control and going through and selecting each one. And then I can just hit add. And now that's all I have added to the model so far. If I want to speed this up and come over to the data prep button and you can hit standardize. Now everything that's under that layer is going to be selected. The only problem, this works great for most jobs. The only problem is this job, it's 100 acres, that can be a lot of data for your machines and everything to see. I don't need all this. They're not going to get to this area for another year or two. I just need everything within my boundaries. So I'm just going to go through and select everything that I want by hand. It makes for a cleaner design. So see if say I set it down and I'm coming back to it later, I'll just hit select and it highlights everything that's on that layer already. Now you go to plus or minus and you just add more. So I'm going to hold down control, we're going to add it. No, I'm not going to do the whole site. I'm just kind of going to get an area for a general idea. These are all my lot pads. So I have all those. I'm just going to add them. See, it added 17 because I already had those 14 in. You always want to hit OK or Enter because then that confirms it. Because if you just X'd out of there, all that work you did is lost. And then, so now I want to add sidewalks and roads and center lines. So I'm just going to go through and select sidewalk, roads, everything you want to see. I'll add the flow line. Now, I'm not going to add the curve, the top back curve, because I don't want the machines to see that. So as you can see, I'll come in here and I'll add those. Those 9 objects were added. Now I want to add these contour lines for the berm on the back of lots, so they can kind of see the layout of the job. So just add, and this is a bigger job, so it can be tedious, Add those, select OK. I want the machine to see all these lot numbers. Now we want to hold control, that way you can do multiple selections at once. And the lot pad elevation. I always add the pad elevation with the lot numbers. Kind of gives the operator a little more freedom to double check work that the office kind of messed up if you have operators that are kind of interactive. See how I selected that? It's okay because I already added it, so it's not gonna add 2. If you'll see, watch. That one's selected, but I already added it. If I hit add, 41 out of the 42 objects were added. So 2 were ignored because they already were included. So now let's say that's my model. I hit OK. That saves it into this design. Now I want to see, make sure I got everything I want. Okay, I got this side of the road. I don't have center line or this side of the road or any of these lot lines. So you just go through and I'm going to select the right-of-way line, lot lines, let's add the center line. Let's add this flow line over here and the sidewalk. So I got all these. Select add. Now, this is just for show purposes. Select OK. Now we just want to double check and see, okay, this is the area we're working. Say if we did that whole phase, I'd go through all this and add it in. But the idea is there, so you can see I have all these selected, but I missed these guys. I'll add those in, add my rest of my contour lines in, and all my ponds. So we're there. So now we know this is going to the machines. All the machines are assigned to Suncrest machine models. And then my data collector, if you have multiple data collectors, it'll assign that to them. So we did this. We're going to hit close. Now we want to send this design to the machine. That's all under field data. This is it. Field data is where pretty much everything you need to get stuff to the machine. You have 2 options. If you're still running CB430s, you're going to select the data card. If you're on the newer stuff, it's going to be USB drive. So I'm going to select the USB drive. I want it to go to the machine models for this job. I always copy all my designs to the all folder. And then you want to pick, say if you have a fleet and you're running 12.8 version on some stuff, 12.6 on others, 12.7 on some. You want to go to your oldest one. My oldest monitor is running at a 12.6, so I just use that. And you select OK. To see where that's going, make sure it came in. We're going to go, we have it coming into our machine. This is my USB drive. Comes into my, still thinking. All the jobs I have here is kind of a lot going on this particular card. 15. And it has all your information. So here it is. Now if we know it's in there, it has all these sites. So now, just go plug that into your machine. It's taking me a while here. I'm going to pause it. Once it's transferred over, I always like to open it up. you want to have 4 files. You got the .cal, that's your calibration file, your CFG, SVD, and SVL. It's going to be your line work, your surface. You know, at the moment I don't remember which is which, but you know, one's line work, one's surface, something else. So as long as you have 4, you know you're good to go. So it's good there. Get rid of that, and now you're ready to plug that USB into the machine or your data card. You can load that in, and it should be pretty simple. And that's how you create a machine file or a design for the machine to see. It's pretty simple. Hopefully I covered everything. I think I kind of went a little all over the place on this video. I might redo it in a couple days. But that's good for now. I hope you enjoyed.